GPT-3.5 Turbo is officially done. Well, at least on the ChatGPT side of things. OpenAI just released a brand new model called GPT-4o Mini, not to be confused with 4o, which was also recently released. And essentially on the ChatGPT side of things, they replaced 3.5 with this newer model. On the API side of things, you can still access 3.5 Turbo, but it is highly recommended that you use 4o Mini now, since it is way cheaper and is trained with data all the way through October 2023. In this video, we're going to be going over the press release, looking at some of the stats behind the model, and then closing it out by going over 2 examples within Python and LangChain, so that way you can get used to the new API. All right, a lot to cover. Let's start. All right, so we're on OpenAI's website. This is their press release, GPT-4o Mini, advancing cost-efficient intelligence, introducing our most cost-efficient small model. Now, over here, some of the things to read about: committed to making intelligence broadly accessible. And the big thing to highlight, 60% cheaper than GPT 3.5 Turbo. Now, I've used 3.5 Turbo in a lot of the different coding videos on my channel, and it's not super expensive, but the fact that we're already having a decrease in 60% with an increase in performance, really like that. Now, other thing it says in here, enables a broad range of tasks with low cost and latencies, calling multiple APIs, plus large volume of context to the model. You'll see some of the different model stats as I go over to the OpenAI docs, but let's continue going through this over here. Interact with customers through fast real-time text responses, customer support chatbots. Supports text and vision in the API with support for text, images, video, and audio inputs and outputs coming in the future. Awesome. The model has a context window of 128K tokens, supports up to 16K output tokens per request, has knowledge up to October 2023, which is a huge upgrade. Thanks improved tokenizer shared with GPT-4o, handling non-English text is now more cost effective. I haven't set anything minus English into GPT-4o, so I haven't really tested that. I did make one video, I believe, in the past where I did a conversion of languages, but I didn't use 4o. So let's see anything else over here. 4o Mini surpasses 3.5 Turbo and other small models on academic benchmarks across textual intelligence and multimodal reasoning. Multimodal is when you're going to use images as well and text, and supports the same range of languages as GPT-4o. It demonstrates strong performance in function calling, which can enable developers fetch data, reasoning tasks, math and coding, multimodal reasoning, and built-in safety measures. So safety is built in over here. I'm not going to go over all of this right now. And 4o Mini is available now as text and vision model in Assistant API, Chat Completion API, and Batch API. In place of 3.5, etc. So let me show you a few different things as well. So first, if we go over here to the models, you can get even more specifics on this. So right here at the very top, we have 4o, and then we have 4o Mini. This is our affordable intelligent small model for lightweight tasks. Then if you go down here, you get a little bit more information. So context window, 128K tokens, training data, October 2023. And just gives you a little bit more information over here. Compare that to 3.5 though. If we scroll down over here, so this is GPT-3.5 Turbo. Again, I used this a lot in the past, right? And it says, as of July 2024, 4o Mini should be used in place of 3.5 Turbo as it is cheaper, more capable, multimodal, and just as fast. GPT-3.5 Turbo is still available for use in the API. Now, it just says in the API. The reason is, when you go to chatgpt.com, right now the default is 4o, and that's technically the best model out there. But as a free account, you have a limit based around 4o. And once you run out of that limit, it automatically pushes you now to 4o Mini, which is awesome because, again, it's trained up to October 2023. And we go to 3.5, it's only September 2021. So you have an additional 2+ years of information. You have a better performing model. Okay, so since you have to run out of 4o to use it on ChatGPT, I'm just going to show you guys how you can set this up really quick on the Python side of things. So what I'm doing is I have a brand new Google Colab notebook installed, LangChain, OpenAI, LangChain, OpenAI. And then down below, we're going to import a few things, OpenAI. I'm just going to do a very basic prompt template so that way I can switch in and out prompts. We have chat OpenAI and then also LangChain. I'll run that. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in an OpenAI API key. Now, I'm just going to paste in mine over here. So import os.environ OpenAI API key like this. And my key starts with an SK and has a dash. If you don't have an OpenAI API key, make sure to grab one on the website. It's free to get an API key. There is some usage cost associated with it. I can't remember if you still get free $5 or not when you sign up, but being that this is 60% cheaper than 3.5 Turbo, it's barely going to cost you anything to essentially run through these example prompts. So paste my key in and we'll be right back. All right, so my key is in here. Now we just set up our large language model. So I'm going to say LLM equals chat OpenAI. Then inside over here, you specify your model. So this time we're going to say model equals, and inside you can put GPT-4o Mini. Now, what the nice thing is with chat OpenAI on here in LangChain, models are super easy to change in out, right? So I put 4o Mini over here. If you go back over here, right, and you have all these models, I can easily change this back to 3.5 Turbo, although like there's no reason to use 3.5 Turbo anymore, or I can just make this 4o, right? I just added Mini over here because that's the one we're using for this video, but that's kind of a modular design. I really, really like that. So now we have that over here. Let's build out a prompt template. The reason why we can use a prompt template is we can just easily switch in and out what we'll be prompting. So I'll just put prompt template equals prompt template like this. And inside over here, we'll put input variables equals, and all we're just gonna do is throw in a prompt. So prompt, and then new line, we'll say template equals, and prompt like that, then /n for new line, and we'll put response, look up our response like that. Okay, awesome. Then what we're going to do now is build out a basic chain. So chain 1 equals prompt templates, which we have over here. And we're going to use our large language model. And all we have to do on this side of things now is create a prompt. So what we're going to do on this side of things, let's say our user prompt. And let's feed in an example prompt. Now, the prompts that I'm going to be testing in this video, I actually generated them with 4o, not Mini. So let's take a look at some of these over here. Let's go over with this first one. And we'll grab this on here. So this prompt says, discuss the ethical implications of using AI in medical diagnosis. Provide arguments for both the potential benefits and the potential risks. Okay, so that's going to be our user prompt. And now all we have to do to finalize this is we have to invoke our chain. So we have the chain, the prompt template, right? And we have our large language model. So all we have to do now is over here, we'll say response 1 equals chain 1 dot invoke. And you throw in a dictionary over here. So first we have prompt, and then we have our user prompt. So then just put user prompt in here like that. It'll take a second to run. It is a pretty fast model. And once that is done, we can just print out response 1. So that is done, and we can see what this looks like. And then we have the information. The integration of AI into medical diagnosis presents a complex landscape of ethical implications, balancing potential benefits against significant risks. Here we'll explore both sides of this issue, and it essentially builds out a nice paragraph, right? We can see new lines. It sets up headings for us with those pound signs. And then we also have 2 stars over here. And I'm not going to read all of this, obviously, but I'll give you a decent amount. And you can see input tokens 34, output tokens 692. And total tokens for this was 726. And again, how easy it is, right? We can go over here and set a new LLM if we want. If we want to do a new user prompt based off of everything that's set up, right? We can go over here and we'll say user prompt 2 equals, and I'll just grab another prompt that I generated a little bit earlier. And we'll grab this over here. So this one says, again, but a farmer has a rectangular field that is 50 meters long and 30 meters wide. You want to build a fence around the field, and they'll also divide it into 2 equal parts with the fence parallel to the shorter side. Calculate the total length of the fence required, including the dividing fence. So that's our prompt 2. And all you have to do now, since we've essentially set everything up, right, is we just go over here and we set up response 2. And we're still using that first chain, right? And our prompt this time is just going to be user prompt 2. And this is one of the benefits of setting up prompt templates. It makes it super, super easy. And that ran really fast. And we can just go over here and print out response 2. And then since to calculate the total length required, we need to account for the perimeter of the rectangular field, an additional dividing fence. Part 1 is calculate the perimeter of the rectangular field, right? And it gives you the formula over here. And the length is 50 and the width is 30. So think about that, 50 times 2, 30 times 2. We should be at 100, 160. And it gives us 160 there. And then we're dividing the fence as well. And parallel to shorter side, 30 meters. So the fence will be equal to the width of the field, which is 30. So the total length is going to be 190, right? And there you go. And it essentially has all of the math behind it. And you can take a look at completion tokens 306, prompt token 69, total tokens 375, model name GPT-4o Mini, 2024-7/18 when that was released. So kind of just to recap, essentially what I'm doing on the coding side of things, right? I pip installed, go over here, LangChain OpenAI and LangChain OpenAI. Then I brought in a few imports. We have OpenAI, prompt template, chat OpenAI, LangChain. Bring in your OpenAI API key. If you don't have one, make sure to grab one. Then over here in a chat OpenAI, I specify which model. This video is mini. Then set your input variables for a prompt template, right? Prompt response. Then I just built out a chain which has this prompt template going into the large language model. Then we define our prompt, which we can change really easily. And then you invoke your chain with the specific prompt. Use a dictionary for that. And I showed you guys 2 different prompts. Hope you see now the benefit of switching your 3.5 Turbo to 4o Mini if you are using the API. And if you're using GPT, that is why it has now been updated. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to really hit 50,000 subscribers in 2025, and we're only about 20% of the way there. But I'm going to continue uploading 2 to 3 videos every single week. And speaking of AI and large language models, I have other videos down below as well as a playlist, or you can check out the playlist right over here.